that bitch cut me off. I was in the middle of adding a bunch of numbers and it cut me off. I wasn't paying attention to my timer. This thing only allows me to do 10 minutes. If I want longer, I have to pay for it, and I'm too cheap to pay for it. So I try to limit it. Anywho, oh my God. Instead of adding 30 numbers together, I'd have to add 10 240s, 7 180s, 5 204s, and 8 216s. You don't want to see me write all that down? No. So you just use some multiplication to make it a little quicker, and then you add all these numbers together, which brings me to the next slide. And they're trying to show you all of this. Let's see, where's the total? Here's all those numbers, right? And that gives me a total of 6,408 divided by 30 days in September, which gives me an average daily balance of this. This is my average, I don't know what color to use, average daily balance, or as I like to call it, the ADB. All right, which is also your new P. Because now that's the number that they will use to calculate your interest in the I equals a PRT. So they put that number where the P is, and then of course I use bright pink for my interest rate was 18%, so that's 0.18. And then remember that time on the average daily balance, there's 365 days in a year. The numerator will change depending on what month it is. We're in September. September has 30 days. If we were in February, you'd use 28. Don't assume that it's a leap year unless they tell you, okay? And so, I grab my calculator, I do the math, and my finance charge is going to be $3.16. And that is the average daily balance. What's next? Okay, so in this one, I'm just going to kind of fly through it. They just want to compare the difference between the two methods. So at the beginning of May, a credit card has a balance of $500. Annual interest rate is 21%. On May 11th, you made a purchase for a car repair, and then on May 29th, the payment was credited. So they put it all together in this chart. The unpaid balance method, you take last month's balance, which was the $500. I used light blue for that, did I? Last month's balance, that's the $500. They calculate the interest, okay? So this, I used green for that, didn't I? The light green. The interest right here, they got that from taking 500 times its 21%, so 0.21 times 1/12 of a year, because that's how the unpaid balance method works. And that's where they got the $8.75 from. And then it was said that you sent in charged $400 for a car repair. That's a purchase, so that would be adding it, and then a payment would be subtracting, and the payment was $500. And so when they did that calculation, they came up with $408.75. That is what will be used to calculate the finance charge for next month. And so you use that same interest rate times 1/12, and that gives you a finance charge of $7.15. Now on the average daily balance method, again, you start with $500, but nothing happened until the 11th of the month. What month were we dealing with here? Is this May? Yeah, the annual interest on May 11th, a purchase. So on the 11th and then again on the 29th, you sent in a payment. So the first 10 days, it was $500. But then you made a purchase of $400, so it went up to $900. and that went from the 11th until the 29th, so that was 18 days. And then you sent in a check for 500, so 900 minus 500 brings you down to 400, and that was for the last 3 days of the month, because that happened on the 29th, so the 29th, 30th, and there's 31 days in May. Anyway, so they did all that math, divide by 31, and you get this number as the new principal. So there it is, same interest rate, but because we're doing average daily balance, the time has to be the total number of days in whatever month you're talking about out of 365 days in a year, and look at the interest rate now. Exact same two situations, but average daily balance is going to charge you more. Now the difference between 12 and 7 is like $5, so that might not seem like a lot, but I'm only dealing with around less than $1,000 on my credit card, and 21%. What if I had $5,000 on there, not 500, and I had a 28% credit card? They're going to screw me over with average daily balance, big time. All right, so that's just the comparing of the two to show you. And you can look on your credit card somewhere. It should tell you, not on your card, on your statement, somewhere it should tell you how they calculate the finance charge.